Hello and welcome back to another episode of Modeling Mocs. Today is a very special episode due to the fact that we finally hit over 60 subscribers. Woohoo! In celebration of this fact, I'm going to be showcasing one of my original characters. Now this is a bit different video, seeing how instead of showing a recording of me building the finalized Moc, I am going to be showing you, as best I can, the story unfolding with many Mocs being displayed. Also, don't get too used to the first version of the main character that you see. This will change as the story progresses, and the finalized version of the main character will be shown at the end of the video, and possibly the thumbnail if I get to it. Without further ado, here is the origin story of my original character, Autobot Cobra. Cobra was an assassin for the Autobot Elite Guard during the War for Cybertron. He was quiet and distant, never really spoke too much to his fellow Autobots. One day on a mission in the southern hemisphere of the planet, Cobra's entire squad was killed by a Decepticon ambush. A stray shot from a Khan's blaster hit his throat, damaging his voice box. Outgunned and outnumbered, Cobra was surrounded. His energon leaking and severely damaged. Not going down without a fight, he fought till all the enemy forces were destroyed. When the dust settled, Cobra collapsed to the ground. Before he blacked out, he saw the silhouette of other Cybertronians. He awoke in a cryogenic restoration chamber, or CR chamber. As he stepped out, he felt disoriented. Then he realized his body had been altered. Suddenly, he was attacked by an unknown warrior. Not used to his new body, Cobra couldn't hold off his assailant. Just then, two other Cybertronians walked in. One ordered Cobra's attacker to stop fighting. They introduced themselves as the high-ranking members of the Primus Knights, an ancient organization dedicated to protecting the lineage and relics of Primus and the original 13 Primes. Cobra then learned that his assailant was called Blasthard, who claimed to be testing the Autobot in his new body. They explained how after eons of watching from the shadows, the war had become too much of an issue to ignore. Were it not for some knights scouting the area, Cobra would have surely died. The knights explained how they took Cobra in, repaired his wounds, and upgraded him with armor made from a powerful being from another universe. While that last bit sounded strange to Cobra, he didn't really care. All he wanted to do was to get back to Autobot Command and destroy the Decepticons for killing his squad. But the Primus Knights would not allow him to leave in his current state. Not until he was well recovered and trained in their ways. Cobra was soon trained in multiple forms of combat by another knight named Kirlos, who he learned was one of the knights who found him in his broken state and saved him. Alongside Cobra, Kirlos also trained two other young knights, Athena and Sidewire. Though often butting heads at first, Cobra and Sidewire eventually grew a mutual respect for one another, and saw each other as brothers in arms. Over the months of training together, Athena and Cobra also became very close. One day, the Decepticons attacked the Primus Knights base. In the height of the battle, one of the Decepticons seemingly killed Athena. Sidewire, horrified and enraged at seeing a bot he saw as a sister die at the hands of a war that wasn't even theirs to begin with, blamed not only the Decepticons, but Cobra and the Autobots for letting the war consume all of Cybertron. Sidewire left the Primus Knights and swore vengeance. After the dust had settled, Athena was rushed to the infirmary. Hours passed. Cobra paced the halls outside the operation room. The medics were able to stabilize her condition, although she would be in a coma for quite some time. Cobra knew he would have to return to the Autobots, and eventually find Sidewire and convince him to return. But before he could leave, he would have to speak to the High Council. The Council was impressed with how Cobra fought with the other knights in defending their home. They wanted to officially make him a member of the Primus Knights. Cobra humbly accepted and was soon sent on his way. With a new lease on life and a mission ahead, Cobra was ready to face whatever the future held in store for him. And that'll just about do it for this episode of Mauling Mocs. I want to thank you all for watching and sticking around to the end. At the time of recording this, we currently have 66 subscribers to the channel. I want to thank each and every one of you for helping us get this far. When I started this channel last year, I would have never expected the amount of progress to be made, and hopefully next year we'll go even farther. Thank you all for watching. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And with that, I end the transmission now.
Game over.